It's 2019. Happy New Year's, everyone. I'm Adam. This is Go To Coders. Today I'm going to talk about 3 ways that I believe we can all be better coders in 2019. Let's get started. Hoo-yah! It is a new year, and with that always comes New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions are hardly ever kept, and the reason for that is we only think about them one time a year. So what I'm going to throw out there to you today, as for my number 3, is to pick goals that are both long-term and short-term. And I'm going to talk to you about a couple that I have for this year. And I'm also going to talk to you about some that I've had in the past too later on in the video. So goals are something that allow us to point our minds in a direction, and there are ways like for us to get off track, and goals can change, and that is absolutely fine. And changing goals, some people get discouraged by like, this didn't work out, I'm going a different direction. And that is actually a good thing. So let me kick this off by saying, number 1, I really want to start taking YouTube very seriously. And this ties in very heavily with my number 3, which is I care a lot about helping other coders. I'm an engineering manager. I love helping coders. I want to continue doing that in 2019. And with that, I'm hoping YouTube can help empower that even more. I want to get people to discover programming for the first time. I want to continue helping in some of the high school classes and middle school classes and help people discover programming. Any chance I get, I'm going to throw programming out there and hopefully get another student interested. My number 2 is I'm really big into AWS. And with that, I want to spend a lot more time understanding Amazon Alexa. So over the next couple months, I actually want to build a few Alexa skills, but I also, by the end of next year, by the end of 2019, by the end of this year, I want to release in production one Alexa skill that I'm proud of. So my number 3 is to set some goals. And to do this, I want to visit back to some of my earlier years. So back in 2001, 2002, for example, I knew I wanted to be a programmer, but I had no idea, I had no mentor, I had no one to help me. So what I ended up doing is setting my own objectives. And one of them was I wanted to be an AI programmer in the video game industry. And I worked my butt off to do that. And that dream was finally achieved many years later. But it wasn't something that I was able to do in 1 year. Along the way, goals that I set was to create a game a month for over a year period. I would create a Pac-Man game. I would create a Tetris clone. I would create a Zelda, like the old 2D style clone. And the goal was I could only spend a month on it, and it had to be done at the 30th or the 31st of that month, and that was it. The other thing I actually did is a game a day. So I would wake up early in the morning, and I'm like, today I have 12 hours to do everything from create the audio, the art, and the code. Into today, that is it. What that allowed me to do, though, was build like an amazing portfolio that helped me reach my goal of getting into the video game industry and eventually working on AI. Now, number 2 is pretty much just like number 3, and that's how important these are. But it's okay to have these goals, but you're never going to achieve them unless you set some action items that you are accountable for. For example, on YouTube, I plan to make the commitment to submit 2 videos a week in 2019. That is a very achievable goal for me, and I'm starting off the year right here on January 1st by uploading my first video. For the Alexa and AWS skills, I've got a goal of exploring the world of Amazon Alexa, understanding the skill kit, but by the end of 2019, I want to have a release to production skill. What that means though is I have a lot of steps to get there. So to be held accountable, I need to set milestones for myself to actually reach those deadlines. And finally, help others code, help other coders, help other people code. And my goal is to actually speak more at conferences. I would like to hit 3 major conferences in 2019 where I'm actually going to talk about how to be a better coder, or maybe something that I've learned along the way, some way to help people. But also on top of that, I really want to focus my content on YouTube to helping people that are interested in coding, or people that are currently trying to break into the industry, or even people that have been coding a while get better at coding. It honestly has been a roller coaster ride for me. From being an engineer on a game development team to starting my own company, running that for 6 years, building it from zero to multi-million dollars in revenue. I have just been like bombarded with all of this knowledge, and I really want to share that with everyone so that they can be less intimidated to jump in there and try some of the things themselves. Goals are important. They help set our direction, but action items help us reach those goals. So goals first, get your plan together, your action items, and then set forward for a successful 2019. Finally, in the year of 2019, if you are just getting into the industry of any sort of programming, or if you have been programming for a long time already, I'm going to challenge you to code at least 7 hours a week. What that means is you may be working a full-time job, you may be going to college, you may be doing any number of things, but set aside on average 1 hour a day. If you can't do it one day, maybe you're sick, make up that hour another day. But from Sunday to Saturday, 7 hours of coding. That is going to make you a much better programmer. And to add on to that, you should be putting all of your code on GitHub. The success in this is going to be to find small bite-sized projects that you can work on with clear time-boxed time frames around all of them. For example, you could work on something forever and that's completely fine. But if you can set yourself up with a bunch of mini goals, such as I want to learn how to create a new window in the Windows OS. That's great. I want to learn how to render a 3D box with DirectX. That's awesome. Maybe you actually want to go down the algorithm route and you want to learn how to write like a binary tree, or you want to learn how to do a priority queue. Fantastic goals. But you set those goals up at the beginning of the week, and by the end of the week, you need to meet those goals. All of us, when we go to college, we become really good at the book stuff, right? We learn the ins and outs of all the data structures and all the algorithm. But if we don't use it every day, we're going to forget it. So my challenge is I'm going to bring that back around, and in 2019, I'm going to refresh myself, especially around graph navigation, binary search trees, red-black trees, stuff like that, algorithms in general. That is going to be my focus. And my ultimate goal, this is a goal that I'm still a little bit, this might be 2 to 3 years out, and I think that's also important to have a goal that's 2 to 3 years out, is to start another technology-based side business. So if I come up with an idea in 2019, I'm going to begin development of something that I'm hoping I can get like recurring revenue on. That'll be another side business that maybe I can grow and grow and grow. But remember, in 2019 and beyond, GitHub has become programmers' portfolios. When you apply for a job, you have an active, full GitHub account profile where people can dig through code that you've written. They can see the progression, the commits. Everything you check in needs to be of the utmost best quality, but literally during this challenge, you should upload every bit of your code. You should comment it. You should actually document it as if it was production code. Spend time building a good portfolio today, and that will help you land the job that will get you to the next step of your career tomorrow. That is it for this video for today. Feel free to leave your programming goals in the comments below. I would love to read them and see what all of you are doing. If you like this video or if it provided any help to you, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm very close to that 100 subscriber mark, and I'm super excited about that. And until next time, everyone, keep coding and Happy New Year's.